let's jump into our first main topic of the podcast, the first draft topic, and that is the New York Knicks. There was already rumors before the Hawks net trade went down that there was a possibility of the Knicks and Hawks kind of making a trade. And that trade would involve the number 3 pick going from New York to Atlanta and the number 8 and number 10 picks going from the Hawks to the New York Knicks. Now, there have been 2 different sides to this. Some people have said that, adding the 8 and the 10, it's the Knicks' plan to add talent around KD to get not just RJ Barrett, but to get 2 guys in the draft that they could add around KD. And at the time, this was before the Kyrie to the Nets thing had emerged. Now there's other word that, hey, the Knicks could use this to try to make a draft night push for Anthony Davis before a team like the Boston Celtics can even get their hands in the table because they have to wait until after July 1st. The question I want to ask you is, first off, from the Knick perspective, should they trade the number 3 pick?
I mean, they'd have to get back a lot, is my thought, because I see this draft class, either way you plan it, whether you think you're going to make the trade for Anthony Davis or whether you think that you're going to rebuild as a franchise, I truly believe that you have to get so much talent back for him. That's why the 8 and 10 on its own, not good enough. It's not enough in this draft class because at 3, you can get RJ Barrett, who is a bona fide stud, scorer, athlete. He's got everything you want. He's, the future 2 guard for the next 10 years of a franchise. Like, he's got all of that written all over him. And I don't see anyone, 8 and 10, you're taking, shots. And to be fair, they're good. There's a lot of good players there, but the miss potential is so much higher. I feel like RJ Barrett, it would have to take like a Wiggins-esque fall of his, career for him to miss. Like, he just has talent. So I can't see that one bombing horribly. At worst case scenario, he's like a good 2 guard.
If you would have asked me before, Thursday, if they should trade the pick, I was saying a for sure yes, trade the pick, because I believe it was you and I had this discussion on that Hawks Nets. I can't remember if I had it with you or with Jake in the Discord, but with RJ Barrett, I kind of feel like if KD is coming to the Knicks, because that's a big caveat of this.
It is.
If he's coming to the Knicks, I almost feel like him and RJ kind of clash in a way. Like, they're both ball dominant guys, and I don't see RJ being. First off, I don't see Kevin Durant saying, "All right, you be the ball handler." That for sure ain't one, because in Golden State, Steph basically was like, "Here you go, KD. I don't care."
He did care.
Well, what? Steph?
Yeah.
Steph didn't care.
He did care.
As long as they were winning rings, Steph didn't care.
Cared a smidge.
Okay, I'll give you maybe cared a smidge. But basically, I don't see RJ Barrett being that off-ball, spot-up shooter. Like,
he doesn't have to be Cam Reddish.
But that's the thing.
You get
like
80-plus shots a game,
and
there's no way he's not going to get some of that.
I look at it, though, and I go, if you could trade 3 for, I agree with you, 8 and 10 might not be enough.
That's not.
I wonder if that's why the Hawks got that future net pick. They throw that into the deal, because the future picks that the Nets have is they've got Cleveland's pick next year, but let's be honest.
It's protected.
That's not going to be a first-round pick.
It is top 10 protected, and if it doesn't convey, it goes directly to 2 second-round picks, correct?
And the reason why I don't see that being a first-round pick is even with the new lottery odds, I don't see Cleveland next year being a good enough team to get bounced, because the lowest someone felt this time was Cleveland, Phoenix, and Chicago, and Atlanta, and the Wizards fell 3 spots each.
Right.
But Cleveland was at 2 and fell to 3. So they're still in the top 10. The Wizards were at 6 and fell to 9. And I don't even see, this year was 32 wins. I don't see Cleveland anywhere near that.
Healthy Kevin Love means more wins. Plus whoever you draft this year, plus the free agency shakeup. If Kevin Love's healthy, I wouldn't count them out of winning more than 30 games.
Is it possible? Yes, but I don't think Cleveland's not going to want to lose that pick either. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like selective tanking at the end to try to not get out of the top 10.
Yep.
that pick, if I'm the Knicks, basically means nothing to me because I don't want 2 seconds.
Agreed.
Then the only other one they have that's not their own is an OKC pick in 2022 that is top 14, so it's lottery protected.
Yep.
And if they don't get that pick, basically they get 2 second-rounders in 2024 and 2025. So with both, like that Thunder one, yes, I feel like that's going to be a first-round pick because the Thunder are not going to be, I mean, depending on if Paul George leaves.
Yeah, that's far away, man.
Like that could be the year, I believe that's the year of free agency that Paul George leaves, or potentially could be the year after he leaves, depending on what he decides to do. But like that pick has the possibility of being a first, but neither of those picks entice me as I'm the Knicks.
No.
Maybe the Net pick doesn't either because the Nets were a playoff team this year.
Yeah, and they're likely to be again if they're, actually going to lay in some of the names they're hunting after. It doesn't make sense to me that the thing is the Knicks need the value not only for themselves but also what sounds attractive to the Pelicans. And that is the killer because what would you rather have as the Pelicans? RJ Barrett to pair with Zion Williamson, your best buddy from college, the guys who, agreed before college, we're going to go play together. We're going to take this shit over. Or, at the 8 and 10, we're talking about guys like maybe Bol will be there, maybe Sekou, maybe DeAndre Hunter, or Culver. Then we start to that second tier of, Jackson Hayes, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Romeo, like all of those mid-tier guys, Brandon Clark even. Like there's just that wide array of they could be good, but the potential to miss there is far worse than just flat out RJ Barrett. So I look at that offer and I just don't see the drive unless it's 2 firsts this year. And on top of that, you're giving me, maybe it's 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a future first, unprotected, probably won't be unprotected, but like lotto protected, top 10 protected from the Hawks themselves.
Ooh, so they're on
I'm going greed.
Because
the Knicks hold hold all the cards here. Because that's the thing is, I don't see a way that they move off that rock unless they love it. They're like, that deal has to be, and even then I'm like, oh, that's your deal. So New Orleans, how does? And then you have to play the middleman game.
And, I mean, look, I was looking at the chat a little bit while you were talking, and first off, Bol weight.
0 pounds.
0 pounds.
Yeah.
I love Ricky's hand movements.
You do it all the damn time.
I talk with my hands.
Wait until he starts doing this all the time.
I do hand movements. But the thing that I also looked at is like Dream Matter. I also think RJ works better as a 3.
Yeah.
I do too. And then even Kyle Craig, where I don't care. I just want to see RJ and Zion together again. And that's the point I want to hit on, which if I'm the Knicks, the only way I'm trading away that 3rd overall pick is if I can then take 8 and 10 and whatever future I get from Atlanta, because that's the true thing too, is like if I'm the Knicks, I shouldn't care what that pick is because it ain't going to be my pick. It's going to be the Pelicans pick. Like if I can work a deal off with the Pelicans that, hey, what do you want for Anthony Davis? I can get it draft night. That's how I trade, because the thing that I think the Knicks are in right now is based off of the Hawk Net trade and based off of the Kyrie rumors of like he's going to be in Brooklyn.
Yep.
If I'm a Knick front office guy, I'm a little nervous, probably a lot of nervous right now.
Should be.
That I could be losing Kevin Durant, because why would Kevin Durant come to New York alone? No, he wouldn't. But if I can trade for Anthony Davis and then say, hey, Kyrie hasn't signed with the Nets yet. We have Anthony Davis.
Yep.
We have him. The only question is if you're Kevin Durant or how you think Kevin Durant thinks, do you think he would choose Kyrie in the Nets or AD in the Knicks? What would be more appeasing? Playing with your what we think is his better friend and Brooklyn or AD and the Mecca?
Sorry, you had some...
I burped. Yeah. Well... Like we discussed on Too Old to Game, Dave, we're just some gassy fellas over here. We're just some gassy fellas.
Oh, man. I think that at the end of the day, Kyrie would rather play with another superstar. That's not taking away, like, Karis LeVart's good, Dinwiddie's good, but they're not superstars. They're not Anthony Davis good. Unfortunately, that's where it stands. So, yeah, that would sway me quite a bit, and because there's no timeline on, that decision, basically Anthony Davis can get traded tomorrow for all we care. Like, it's literally can happen any day now. I think it just comes down to, if the Knicks are able to pull that trade, they have to be swinging for the fences, and that would probably convince Kyrie. I would say, yeah, that would convince Kyrie to be like, yep, I'm going to the other New York. Sorry.
So if they get AD, they're not just convincing KD, they're convincing Kyrie also.
I think step one is get Kyrie. Step two is get KD.
Okay.
Even though I would rather have KD.
If you build it, KD
he will come.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's my thought.
Yeah.
So
I mean, with me, I'm the same way. I agree with Dream Matter. We're on the same mind wavelength of I'm not trading the 3rd overall pick unless I know I can flip whatever picks I'm getting for Anthony Davis. Because yes, there's a part of me that thinks maybe getting a DeAndre Hunter and then somebody else at 10 could be better pieces around KD.
Don't matter.
RJ Barrett at 3 is a lot to pass up. And if I'm getting Anthony Davis, I am far well okay at giving up RJ Barrett if I'm getting Anthony Davis. That means I'm getting KD as well. The last thing I'll ask you is, what if the Knicks do their plan of, hey, I want to build around KD. I want to get 2 guys for 1. Let's say they make that decision. If you're the Knicks, who are you taking at 8 and who would you take at 10?
It'd be incredibly dumb, and it would be the most Knicks thing to happen.
That's why we got to hit it.
In order of priorities, I would probably try to land either whoever falls between Culver, Cam, or DeAndre Hunter at 8, because one of those 3 wings is going to fall to them.
Yeah.
And then at 10, I might take a stab at sorry, can you re-clarify? Do I have Kevin Durant in this one or not?
So this is a draft night trade. So at this point, you don't have Kevin Durant, but you're highly assuming he's going to be signing with you.
I might take So one of the 3 wings, and then I would probably lean like Brandon Clark there. I think that would be my draft strategy is try to get someone who can either shoot and ball handle like Jarrett Culver, or potentially Cam Reddish, or go for a 3-and-D prospect in DeAndre Hunter, and then take Brandon Clark in there as they fill in. Like, the kid's got great defense, he's got good jump. I think that if he develops that shot, he's a next level difference maker. So yeah, that would be my 2 choices. Would be whoever falls from that 3 grouping.
Yeah,
and him.
I would go the one I'm targeting out of those 3 is DeAndre Hunter, just because I think that Cam might go before the 8th pick.
Right, that's what I said. Whichever one,
DeAndre Hunter to me is the one that I would go with at 8, just because I know older player.
Yeah.
His defense, I love what he does defensively and can shoot from the outside. And then at 10, I would go Brandon Clark, or the only thing that would sway me from him is Bol. And I know you got Mitch Rob, but having Mitch Rob be the defensive guy,
play Bol at the 4.
Bingo.
You just have 3 7-footers on the floor at once. Kevin Durant, Bol, and Mitch Rob.
You got your mid-range, your long-range, you're in close. You got it all covered with the 7-footer. But that's where I would go with if they did make that trade to get more than just RJ Barrett going out there. And then because this is new, have you seen anything from the chat that you want to give some love to before we move on?
No, I think who's getting Taco Fall is a great question. If you follow Reddit, the Chicago Bulls are taking Taco Fall at 7.
I would love that. Well, not at 7.
Yep,
not
at 7. There was a mock draft going around, and the Bulls subreddit decided, fuck you guys, we're taking Taco Fall at 7.
Yeah, a lot of mocks have us taking Daniel Gafford in the 2nd round.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I see that.
I don't know if I would take that over a point guard if one of them are there, but I wouldn't be mad if the Bulls
Carson
would go
Edwards
second.
is the guy you're targeting. I know.
I'm saying, well, him, you got Shamori Pons, you've got, I don't think Battle will be that high, but if Ty Jerome falls from Virginia, that would be interesting. And we'll kind of segue in before we do. If you're on YouTube watching this after the fact, make sure to let us know what you guys think down below in that comment section.